Welcome to the Unscripted Journey podcast. I'm your host, Cynthia Schoen. Around here, we believe in living life on purpose, not by permission. Each week, we'll talk real growth, fresh starts, and bold steps to create a life that's true to you. So grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's take this journey together. Welcome back to the Unscripted Journey, my friends. Let me ask you a question. What if I told you that the graveyard is the richest place on earth? Would you believe me? That is a famous quote by Les Brown. And you might say, why do you say that's the richest place on earth? That's because it is there that you will find all the hopes and the dreams that were never fulfilled, the books that were never written, the songs that were never sung, the inventions that were never shared, the cures that were never discovered, all because someone was too afraid to take that first step. Keep up with the problem or to be determined enough to carry out their dream. And today I want to talk about how to make sure that doesn't happen to you. Listen, you might say, why does it even matter, Cynthia? Why do you even care? You know, as I have shared in the past, and I continue to share about my unscripted journey, is how I was led to this. I had heard that quote in the many podcasts that I was listening to, and it struck me. Remember, I've talked about how long I wanted to start a podcast and how long it took me, right? My dad died. I was like, I need to start a podcast. My dad was a writer. He was a poet. My dad really loved his life. And I didn't want to die and not fulfill some of those dreams that I had in my heart. Now, when I was younger, I had all kinds of dreams. But after my dad died, I started thinking about these things. I started thinking about all the ideas that I once had in my head. I wanted to write books, and I'm still going to write one. I'm not going to give up on that dream. And even songs I once thought I would create or sing in front of people. And you may not know this, but I used to love singing. I sang since I was a little girl. I wanted to get into musical theater. I wanted to pursue music. And in a sense, that never happened. So when I started to think about wanting to start a podcast, I was like, I cannot let this be another dream that dies. And because I was like, what if I never start, right? What if it goes to the grave with me and no one gets to hear some of the things that I want to share with them, to encourage them, to talk to them, to let them know that I understand what they're going through. And I want you to reflect for a moment and ask yourself, what's that one thing you've always dreamed of doing but haven't touched yet? And this is a good time to take out your journal. You know, I always say, if you write it, you commit it to memory. This is a good time to take out your journal or your notes app and just write that one thing down. One of the first things that comes to your head, something that you've always wanted to do in your life. Perhaps it was a dream since you were a very young child and now you're an adult in your 50s like me and you've realized, oh my God, I've never fulfilled anything that I wanted to do in my life. It is never, never, ever too late for you to do that. We all know people who had so much talent but never shared it. I'm sure that you've been to plenty of funerals where you're like, man, that person was this way or that way. I wish I would have seen more of that. And you start thinking about it. But the reality is that when we bury our talent, we rob not just ourselves, because we're robbing ourselves from not fulfilling our dreams, but we're robbing the people who might have been blessed by them. And here's the science behind this. Unfulfilled dreams can lead to negative feelings such as regret, disappointment, frustration, and really a sense of feeling incomplete. And that potentially impacts your self-esteem and your confidence. I knew this man who always said his one regret was that he never went into ministry, right? And that was one thing that he was kept carrying with him, that he never did that, and he regretted it so much. Don't be that person that doesn't fulfill the things that have been placed in your heart to do in this lifetime. People also experience this lingering sense of loss. Like, man, I lost something. It's unfulfilled potential. And they end up comparing themselves negatively to other people. And they become stuck in this past, like that man that I just mentioned, unable to enjoy the present because you're always thinking, what if I had fill in the blank? And to be honest, even the Bible talks about this in Proverbs 13:12. It says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. And that means that when a deeply desired outcome or dream is repeatedly delayed, it really can lead to emotional and even physical suffering. It can give you stress, anxiety, and depression. But it also says that a dream fulfilled is a tree of life. When you fulfill those dreams that God has placed inside of you, you are thriving. A different part of you comes alive. And I truly believe that our gifts aren't accidents. They're assignments from God specifically for us. And even in this story in the Bible, it talks about a servant who buried his talent. And it really didn't go well for him, my friends. And yet, how often do we do the same? Do we take that gift, that talent that we've been blessed with, and we're too embarrassed to try, we're too embarrassed to just go for it because we're fearing rejection or whatever? And no one ever gets to see it or hear it. And what if I said to you, what if that very thing you've been holding back is what someone else is waiting on? Fear holds us back. It's fear of failure. We've talked about this in other episodes. Fear of failure. What if I'm not good enough? What if I don't sound as good as I think I do? Or fear of judgment. What are people going to say? You all know that I struggled with that when I first started thinking about the unscripted journey and sharing my thoughts with people and posting on social media. It was one of the things that got me. What are people going to say? What are they going to judge me on? What are they going to say I sound like? And I had to get over it. I had to get over it because I feel like I have a message for people to hear. And I think that's why you're listening to me, because you know that I have a message for you. And there's a myth that the perfect time will come. And we keep saying someday, but someday isn't promised. And I've always said this even to my kids, and my husband and I talk about this. Time is the one thing you can never get back. Once time goes by, you can never get those minutes, those days, those hours. And we spend so much time on nonsense, I talk about doom scrolling, right? Just spending our time on social media, doing stupid crap. Let's just be honest. Those things waste our time when we could be fulfilling our dreams and the potential that we have. Stop doing that. Get yourself together and start dreaming again so that you can fulfill those things, those deep desires that are in your heart. I want you to go live full. I don't want you to leave full, because what good is it to leave with all those things still inside of you? I want you to go ahead, my friend. Today, this very day, is the day to start. I want you to write the first page of your book. If you've always dreamt about being an author, write it. There are so many ways that you can self-publish nowadays. It does not matter. I've put out 3 journals out there, and you know what? Someday someone will buy them, and I'm going to encourage you to go onto Amazon and buy my reflection journal. But if you've always had a dream of being a writer, start writing. You're never going to write a book if you don't start writing the first page. I want you to go ahead and record the first 30 seconds of that song, even if it sounds like crap, even if it doesn't sound good, even if it doesn't rhyme. I want you to go ahead and record that. Start the outline for that business idea, my friends. There's so much potential, so many things you can do to make extra money. Those ideas, it is not a saturated market for whatever you're thinking. It's never saturated. There's millions and millions of people in this world that will buy the thing that you want to sell, that will buy into your vision and your business idea. Take the class. You know what? I've always wanted to take a dance class. I've wanted to take Latin ballroom dancing, and it was like, yeah, one day. Well, guess what? I'm 52 and I still haven't gotten it. I had gotten to take that class. So I think that it's time for me to step up and do that part. Write all your dreams down, everything you ever wanted to do and try. Write it down. It is not too late. And it's not about perfection. It's about obedience to what's being planted in you. God created you with purpose and desire. And He puts the desires in our hearts. So it's time for you to stop saying, tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow I can start. When I'm more organized, when I'm more ready, the time is now. You should be ready today, this very moment. After you stop listening to this podcast, put everything into action and say, I'm going to start. And don't look back. Don't think about what people will think, what people will say. Who cares? Who cares? Those people have their own issues that they're dealing with. That's why they have time to criticize, because they should be doing something and they're not, and they're jealous. So just go with your thing, okay, my friend? And I don't want you to worry about people's applause. Even if no one watches your 30-second video, even if no one presses like on your post, I'm sure someone is seeing it, but they're too embarrassed to hit that like. They're too embarrassed to share because they themselves have unfulfilled desires and dreams in their hearts. Don't worry about that. Worry about whether or not you're burying your gift. Don't be selfish. Share your gift with other people. You know, my dad wrote several books in his life. He wrote poetry. He wrote books. He taught. He was a minister for many, many years. My dad was a very smart man. My son is riding in his footsteps, following in his footsteps, whatever the saying is. He's a writer. He loves poetry. He loves that. It brings him life. And when we were at the cemetery and to say goodbye, and you know, sometimes you throw flowers, and please don't come after me if you're all about, you know, preserving the earth and all that. But we threw pens as an homage to him. He always had a pen in his hand. He was always writing. He always had a thought. And he did not die with those things inside of him. Man, I remember my dad turning on Facebook Live and just going for it. As old as he was just going for it. You know what? Just go for it. Just do it. There's a reason why Nike has that amazing, slogan. Just do it. Just go for it. It doesn't matter. Tomorrow may not be promised to you. You may not know whether you'll be here tomorrow or not. So it's time for you to start, and start today. Start today. The grave does not need another dream. The grave does not need another dream, my friend. It doesn't need your book, and it doesn't need your song, or it doesn't need your invention or your business. The world needs it, not the grave. The world. Give it to the people. There's people that will hear your message, read your book, listen to your song, follow you and buy your items, whatever it is that you have. Don't hide it. Don't keep it to yourself. Live so full so you can die empty. That's all I have for you, my friends, today. Don't forget, hit like if you enjoyed this episode and share with other people, and leave me your comments. I would love to hear from you. Until next time. Thanks so much for listening to the Unscripted Journey podcast. If today's episode lit a spark in you, keep that momentum going with the Unscripted Journey Reflection Journal. It's a guided space to help you tune in, take action, and start living life on your terms. It's available now on Amazon. Just click the link in the episode notes.
Don't forget, I've got free resources waiting for you over at cynthiashone.com to support your growth between episodes. Until next time, live free, stay unscripted.